Hello, thanks for joining us today. This is Slick Landscapes. If this is your first time joining us, please hit that like and subscribe button if you like what you see. Just to give you some info right quick. I got to counting, and this is about our sixth painting. This is going to be our fifth serious one. Our last episode was kind of a joke, kind of for fun. I think what we're going to do 6 episodes a season, one every 2 weeks. During that time frame when we're putting up new episodes, and then after that we'll take like a 6-week break, and it should average out about 18-20 episodes a year. So I'm going to say this is probably a season 1 finale, and starting next season we will have episode numbers and season numbers and all that included in the titles. But with that, thanks for joining me. Grab your paints. We're going to go through our colors. We got Indian yellow, medium yellow, titanium white, sap green, phthalo blue, Prussian blue, cad orange, crimson, alizarin crimson, bright red, burnt sienna, a lot of Van Dyke brown, and then we finally have a midnight black, which is a 60-40 combo of alizarin crimson and phthalo green. Now, let's take a look at the canvas. I got a standard 16 by 20 canvas. And these are very common at Hobby Lobby. In fact, you can find a pack of 5 of them for about $13. Okay, excuse me, I just chugged some coffee. And that's another thing, we do not stop on this show, we just keep going. So let's start today with some phthalo blue. Go in here in the bristles, load it up, and we're not going to need too much, but let's just get ourselves a happy little sky in there. We're not going to go real deep. We're going to have a lot of stuff going in our painting today. Okay, and let's just go ahead with the same brush. Let's just go ahead and try to get rid of those brush strokes and just blend this all in together. There's a little spot right there. All right. Now, let's take a little bit of that phthalo blue and just a tap of that sap of that phthalo green. Want a little bit of water down here, so we're just going to start from the edge and pull in. Just pull in. We're going to go up pretty high with our water today. In fact, we're going to go back in here with some more phthalo blue and again a touch of phthalo green. Probably a bit more closer to the edge of the canvas the more you get up. That's probably good. Just keep coming down here. And again, let's just blend everything in. Okay, let's clean our brush with our odorless paint thinner. Take a paper towel and dry off our brush. Okay. Everyone's favorite thing is some mountains. So let's take our little knife, and I'm not going to bother with happy little clouds today. Because we're going to have so much. Let's take a little bit of our midnight black, and we're just going to come in here. We're just going to drop in a shape of a mountain. Got to decide where it needs to be, so how about right here for one? Maybe it's got another peak over here somewhere. Okay, that's it. We've already got some basic shape for a mountain. Like I've told you before, if you've been keeping up, some Lysol wipes, quick clean on the knife, and then if you got an old pair of pants like I'm wearing right now you don't care about, just slap it on your leg, good to go. Okay, come in here with a nice brush. Now we're just gonna drag that out and kind of just make shape with our mountain. Just Decide where his peaks are. Maybe we're just gonna drag this edge in. Okay. Go ahead and leave that brush dirty and we'll put it right there. Now, let's grab our little knife again. Let's grab some white. Maybe the slightest touch, and I mean the slightest, right there. See how tiny that is? Prussian blue. Cool down that white. See, look how little bit of blue I put in there, and see how much it's turning that. Kind of leave it marbled. Let's get in here. And let's just maybe right here. Just come here and just let the canvas break it. Yeah, and let's grab some more paint. Maybe right here. Right from the top. Bring down. There we go. Maybe just come down in here. Break that up some. Okay. Let's take that white, tiny spot of the red. Again, leave it marbled. I'm just going to come in here, add some highlights to the other side of the mountain. Tell you what, we need a little bit more blue in that one piece. So how about we grab some phthalo blue, mix in that white. And right here, we have ourselves a third little mountain that he just kind of grew right there. Go in there in the white, alizarin, put the alizarin crimson. White. And right here, he's just got a nice little peak right there. Okay, and maybe. Let the canvas take what it wants. That is the secret of your mountains. Just letting the canvas take what it wants. Come up here with a clean, dry brush. Just tap the bases. Getting ready to make some misty looking mountains right here. Lift up. Just lift up. Now we're going to gently blend this. Careful. You don't want to make the mist. Come down in here. I'm going to go ahead and play with the brush a little bit right there. Maybe a little bit right here too. Kind of cool that down some. There. Got ourselves a beautiful little mountain. Alright. Let's clean our brushes. All right. Need to take the trash out. Let's grab our little side. Oh, never mind. He needs cleaned up a bit better. Let's grab another 1-inch brush, one that ain't been used yet. Just come in here. Do that in every episode almost. As soon as I like to drop the brush. I'm gonna see here if I can try to move this blue out of the way. let's clean up this palette right here. Now white, I don't think it got enough oil picked out of it before we started painting today, which is fine. Which is fine. That ought to give me enough room to do what I wanted to do. So I want to take some sap green, alizarin crimson, a little bit of the Van Dyke brown, and a good chunk of our midnight black. I'm just going to mix this up. Try to make one dark color. That's probably good. I'm going to set our knife there. Just come back here to that brush I was trying to do. Now, I'm going to get in here and just tap. And when you're tapping, make sure you're kind of pushing in. Because this is going to be a really fun little technique if you ain't ever done this before, which we have not done on this show. How about up here? I want some very tall trees in the distance. So we're just going to tap in tree shapes in here, up here in our sky. Maybe this tree got really tall back here. Comes down. These trees they just overtook the land over here. Heck, this one got all the way up to the top of our canvas. Okay, set that brush there. Now, take our little fan brush. We go to that same color we just had with that one brush. I think I'm going to add a touch of the Prussian blue just to darken it up even more. Load it up real good. Now we're going to come down just the corner of it, just the tip. We're going to create little foothills underneath our mountain. Trying to leave a good space though between them and the mist in your mountain. Create a lot of depth. We're going to just go over here, cover that a little bit because you're working in layers. You have your sky, your mountain, and then your tall trees. Now we have your foothill right here. Now we're getting a hair bit closer, so let's add some white to our green. Not a lot, not a whole lot, but enough just to indicate, well, before we get too far along, something I am horrible at. Grab a brush. Gotta remember to make it look misty down here too. There we go. Now, with our fan brush, just come in here, add another layer. You know what? Just come in here with that brush again. Let's just push down really deep as we're going. Just up and blend. We got ourselves a second little foothill right there. Alright. Now, boys and girls, I think what we're going to do now, one of my favorite little parts of this whole technique. Then after this, we need to clean some brushes. Just come in here, start from the center, just a little, and then as you get further away, just drag it up. And we're just making nice little reflections. Kind of keep your brush straight. And just blend it in. Alright. set this down to up here. We're going to take a minute and clean our brushes. If you've been with us since the very beginning, thank you so much for being with us. It's been kind of fun. We'd like to get our subscriber base up, so again, don't be afraid to share with your friends. Because we're trying to grow. We're trying to make ends meet, have a good time. We know life is life, and you've already had the masters with Bob, Bill, and I know I'm not the only one who does YouTube videos of painting too, but I'll tell you what, I love to paint. It's something I picked up on a couple years ago. My wife is kind of the one who inspired me to get started on painting. She didn't really force it on me. She just was painting herself, and I remember getting off the bus and watching Bob and falling asleep to him every now and then. And yeah. All right. So we got some clean brushes, and I'm done rambling for a minute. Now, let us take our knife and dip it straight into some magic white. And then let's just put it on the canvas. You gotta kind of make the indention somewhere of some ripples and stuff. Don't be afraid. It ain't gonna tear through. This knife is not gonna tear through this canvas. Just do your best. Keep stuff straight. I don't think we're going to call that good with the ripples for now. Let's try out this knife. Looks like I might need a Lysol wipe for my hand. Make a mess over here. Alright. Now, you're all gonna call me crazy here. I don't blame you. I don't blame you all one bit what I'm getting ready to do here. So now, we're gonna take our big brush, go into the Van Dyke Brown. I'm just gonna come in here. We're just gonna, all I'm doing here is I'm making a layer of dirt that's already been through here. And that's why I have quite a bit of Van Dyke Brown on here, Van Dyke Brown here with me today. Excuse me. I just want to get it all in there, make it look nice and pretty. You gotta look perfect. Kind of get your basic shape of land that you're gonna be playing with later. Maybe we come up here. Maybe the land has a good little hill right here. So there we go. Go ahead and get the side of our canvas over here while we're doing all this. Alright, so wash that brush up. Okay. I'm gonna have to get some new brushes. I've been painting for so long that the coating is starting to wear off on them. Alright. Come in here with our handy little knife. You know, such a beautiful setting. And if I was a preacher, I think I'd want me a fancy little church close to this hill. So right here, I'm just going to cut out a little basic shape. And then I'm just going to come in here, since it's just a nice little church. Take some white. Maybe mix in a little bit of that Indian yellow. Let's see what that does for giggles. See if that'll give us kind of a wood look. Maybe a touch of the red. Maybe a touch of the cadmium orange. See what that does. See if that gives it kind of a maybe a tad more white. I think we might be getting somewhere. Let's. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's turned out a lot prettier than I thought. So let's just come in here, and now we're just basically filling in our building. Make sure you have a paper towel handy. That way you can clean as you go. Maybe this church is still in use. Maybe our scene today. Now we're painting today. Maybe, just maybe, said in simpler times, simpler. You know what? Church ain't a church without a nice little bell tower in here. So I'm just gonna, probably should have made that a little bit smaller. So let's just take that right there. And just one layer straight down. I'm just kind of filling it in. I'm going to take a brush here in a second to try to fill that out better. Okay. This brush is. Let me find a fairly clean brush. That one's brand new. I'm holding off a bit on it. Let's try with this one. Hopefully we don't mess up this painting. Okay. I think we'll be alright. Just take our time with it. You know, and that's one thing with painting. Just really never no true hurry to be in a rush. Now we got our basic shape. I tell you what, I'm going to come in here with some white. Load this brush up really good and really thick with the white. And I think we're now just going to come in here and just add another layer onto our building, onto our little church. Just come straight down with it. Not too really worried about the bottom. We'll get there when we get there. Just keep going in there and loading the brush back up. So that way we can kind of, each time I take a swipe, so that way we can kind of blend this in. then one thing, try to make this look a little bit more presentable and nicer. Just come down here. There we go. All right. Well, I said this was a little bell tower for this church, so let's grab my knife, my little one. Let's grab our little knife. Let's just cut out a little square right here. Now let's just take this little makeup brush. Well, this sounds silly. Let's go in here in the white, dip it over here to the side, take a little bit of our Van Dyke brown, mix it up, try to give it a grayish color. Then we're just gonna just indicate a nice little shape of a bell. That's probably good enough. Ain't gotta be perfect. I am gonna throw that little thing away. Now, can't really have a church without indicating a nice little cross on there. So let's just go straight into the yellow. Just a nice little line. And then take the small part of the knife. Okay. Just clean our knife. So take a little bit of the bright red, just a little green. And some of the Van Dyke brown. Probably thinking to yourself, what are you getting ready to do with all red, green, and all that? Well, I have a little door to get in there, silly. Just come up here, grab a little bit more of the Van Dyke brown. Okay, now let's grab some of the phthalo green. Phthalo green always has a nice, beautiful shine to it. Oh yeah, I like that. I don't need a whole lot. Just little indications of windows here and there in the church. Maybe one more. Maybe one more right there. Okay. So we got our church, we got our woodland, we got our mountains. We got a lot of naked space right there though, so what are we going to do with that? Well, we want to have ourselves a little bit of fun. We're going to make some nice little bushes. So, clean off our knife real good. Take a nice clean brush. Let's go some sap green, a little bit of white. How about some Indian yellow? And maybe a touch of the Van Dyke brown. kind of pulled on it earlier, how we did on our trees here. Go back to our same color scheme that we're doing here. Don't be afraid to go in there and change up your colors every now and then. So it gives your painting some depth and illusion and all that. Alright, now got ourselves some white here, some Van Dyke brown. I'll leave it kind of marbled. Well, I just think we need to have ourselves kind of a rocky little path going to our church. What do you think? Just kind of set that in here, because we're going to fill that up, believe it or not. Just get in there. Got ourselves a nice little rocky trail heading to church. Nice little path through the forest along the edge of the creek. Just kind of scrape it with you, bring it along with you. Maybe up here at the church we got ourselves some little steps. Knife. Just scrape off some excess, because we're going to have ourselves a good little there. And there's a little bit of dark spots and cracks out in the just random rocks that have kind of gotten out of hand in our little pathway to church. Okay, clean off the knife one more time. Come back in here. Just take our fan brush we had earlier. That nice dark color. Come in here with some green. Maybe a touch. Just a touch of the magic white. Now we're just gonna put highlights here and there on our. You know what? Can't really. Let's add some more sap green. Touch of phthalo green actually too. And a little bit of yellow too. Mix that all up. Just got ourselves a nice little pathway through here. Tell you what, too. Just go through here. Maybe there's some little green patches that showed up. Just kind of slap some stuff here and there, show that, you know, some bushes have kind of taken over here and there on the church, trying to cover our sidewalk. So let's come in here. Now we're just going to come up here to the side. We'll add some grassy things. Grab some more sap green. Some Indian yellow, a touch of the white. Again, just slap your brush, just slap it, and just look how many. Slap it up on top, slap it on the bottom. I mean, just look how quickly you're making so many little bushes and wild grass and trees, whatever. Just there's so many amazing things you can do with this fan brush. Maybe there's a tree over here, a big tall tree over here, and he's covering up the church. Got ourselves some other trees over here hiding. Alright. Now we're going to just take our big knife. We haven't played with our big knife a whole lot in this series, so I'm just going to come in here, scratch in some little twigs and stems. Look how quickly we're making some twigs and stems. You know, plan your attack, though. Plan your attack. Over here, maybe we got some twigs and stuff hiding over here, too. Alright. Now, let's go into the paint thinner, touching the bright red. We're going to make that bright red the consistency of water, and we're going to sign this little painting, and we're going to call it good. I sign my paintings over here in the right hand, left hand corner. I'm going to make a C for my first name, and my last name that starts with a B. Inside of that C, I'm going to make a B. Alright. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for joining us on Season 1 of Slick Landscapes. Hit that like and subscribe button. Share the content. Let your friends know. Let's build this thing up, and I will see you all back for Season 2. Later.